all Canada in quick succession.
Whatsoever things are true, a promise made here at the University of Alberta over 100 years ago. Today we are gathered to celebrate this commitment to ourselves and to our community. We celebrate with all those who leave here today with their degrees. May you continue to seek truth. May you continue to serve in our global home. May you continue to grow in wisdom and understanding. And may you continue to uphold the university's values of integrity, freedom, and the equality and dignity of all persons, to create a community filled with promise for the future and goodwill toward all. Please be seated. Welcome to the University of Alberta. My name is Doug Stollery, and I have the privilege of serving as Chancellor of this university and conferring all of your degrees today. The University of Alberta acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. On behalf of the entire university community, I'm delighted to welcome you to this convocation. Graduates, we're very pleased that so many of your friends and family members could join us to celebrate your degrees. As you participate in today's ceremony, you are walking in the footsteps of many generations of scholars. Today's formal opening procession to the stage originates in the procession of the Guild of Teachers. Such guilds in past centuries were dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. Individuals moved from apprentice to master to teacher, assuming increasing responsibilities for learning and leadership in society. The many different academic gowns, hoods, and caps here on stage today reflect centuries of university tradition. As Chancellor, I wear our University of Alberta colors of green and gold. The different colors of your own faculty hoods signify to everyone here and to our society the degree that you have earned. Your caps, or Oxford-style mortarboards, may be considered a symbol of the scholar's independence and freedom. And today, we are all here to celebrate your freedom and to recognize your new leadership roles in our community. We will hear from the chair of our Board of Governors and our university president. We will then begin the recognition of your degrees. One of our deans will present you on behalf of the faculties, and our president will guide you through your pledge to pursue the encouragement of learning and the public good. It will then be my great honor to admit you to your degrees and to confer upon you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that come with being a university graduate. Then it will be your turn up here with us. Each of you will cross the stage as your name is called. For everyone here, this will be the most important part of our ceremony. Your degree will be conferred as I congratulate you and we meet each other on stage. So a piece of advice, stop to greet the Chancellor because that's the awarding of your degree. That moment will bind you and the University of Alberta together for all time. Following the presentation of your degrees, we will proceed with the honorary degree presentation. This is a change from the order that you'll see in your program. Our ceremony will conclude with a welcome from the Alumni Association. Joining the celebration at the center of the stage with me today is our President, Dr. David Turpin, and the Chair of the Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Fair. I'd also like to recognize Elder Don Langford, who is here today, to extend a special recognition to Indigenous members of our learning community. Distinguished guests on the convocation stage also include Ms. Linda Duncan, Member of Parliament for Edmonton Strathcona, and a number of community leaders and members of our Academy. I'm very pleased that the Dean and professors from our Faculty of Science are here to congratulate each graduate as you cross the stage. We're all here to welcome you to our University of Alberta alumni family. I hope you enjoy the day. And I'd like to start by inviting greetings from the Chair of our University Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Fair.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. Douglas Strawlery, President, Dr. David Turpin, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends. I am pleased today to be here on behalf of the Board of Governors to bring the board's greetings and congratulations. Today is a day of celebration when the entire university community, along with your family and friends, gathers to celebrate you, the graduating class of 2018. You have achieved a level of excellence that will be forever recognized with your degree, a University of Alberta degree. Over the years, thousands like you in the class of 2018 have left the university to take their place in our ever-changing world in Edmonton, Alberta, and beyond. Along with the university's academic and administrative community, the Board of Governors is committed to excellence in teaching and research that has supported you and the many who will follow in your footsteps. Collectively and cooperatively, you will be the generation that moves us forward in the arts, in the economy, in knowledge and discovery, and in pursuit of the public good. Your degree is not only a sign of your achievement at the University of Alberta, but is also the fulfillment of the trust and promise of your family and friends that you are the kind of citizen who shares your knowledge, understanding, and thoughtfulness, an individual with skills that are the foundations of a civil society, competent, giving, ethical, and engaged in the challenges and opportunities of today and tomorrow. Congratulations to you, your families, friends, and supporters. Be proud, savor your success, enjoy today, and we wish you the very best for the future.
It's now my pleasure to invite Dr. David Turpin, the President of the University of Alberta, to address Convocation.
Eminent Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Academy, staff, family, friends, and especially you, our graduates. Congratulations and well done. Today we mark a significant milestone in your lives, the granting of a degree that took years of hard work and dedication. Moments like these are relatively rare in life, and I hope that you will enjoy today and take pride in all that you have accomplished. Convocation is the University of Alberta's most important ceremony, one that is shaped by tradition and symbolism. In this ceremony, we issue your degree and grant you your independence from the university and welcome you into a lifelong, worldwide community of more than 280,000 U of A alumni. Today, we both liberate you and remind you of the enduring connection you now have with the U of A. It's that tension between independence and community that I want to talk about today. A few years ago, we first welcomed you into the University of Alberta. Ours is a big, diverse, and at times fractious community. In fact, it would be more accurate to say the U of A is a collection of communities made up of many individuals, groups of people, disciplines, and perspectives that all coexist under one name, each with a corner of campus that they can call their own. Yet, we are one community, one that builds bridges and creates communal spaces where we come together to debate our differences and to discover our commonalities. These bridges are both physical and metaphorical. Pedways that link law to fine arts, humanities to business, health sciences to education, and engineering to AILS. Buses that link North Campus to Campus Saint-Jean. The LRT that links North Campus to Enterprise Square and South Campus. Highways 14 and 21 linking our Edmonton campuses to Augustana. But at our heart, we find places that belong to no one group, but instead to all of us at once. Libraries, cafeterias, sub, hub, athletic facilities, the quad. In these shared spaces, we come together with a common purpose. That is, to pursue knowledge, generate original ideas, and discover new truths. So fundamental is this mission to our community that the U of A's motto is Quaecum Cavera, or whatsoever things are true. Pursuing whatsoever things are true is a high ideal, but you and I both know that discovery and learning of new knowledge is a messy, sometimes rough endeavor. And although on one hand, the pursuit of knowledge is highly individualistic, on the other, new knowledge can only be tested and refined when you cross the metaphorical pedway and see what others think. Before we can arrive somewhere truly new, there's got to be argument and debate, controversy and failure. You can work very hard to solve the problem, prove your thesis or make your case, but eventually you have to bring it into community. And there you may find that someone else has an idea or argument that challenges your own. I hope that during your years here, that you have often been confronted with ideas that troubled you, even shocked your sense of the right and the true, and maybe even infuriated you. It is in these moments that you've learned how to do the hard work of stepping outside of yourself to uncover your own biases and assumptions and examine how they affect your perspective on a problem. Sometimes, and this can be tough, you have had to admit that you were wrong, that the evidence doesn't support what you thought was true, and you need to change your position. At the same time, I also hope that you've had the experience of knowing when you've developed an idea that is worth defending because you've found the evidence and the argument to do so. There's been a constant debate in society about the role of university education. Some people argue that its primary goal should be to prepare you for independence, for your own professional career success. Others contend the primary goal should be to prepare you for citizenship and service to your community. These diverging views of the university have been with us for at least 200 years. Still, universities endure, and university graduates continue to bring enormous value to their communities, both as individuals and as citizens. So how best can you serve your community? Paradoxically, by prizing and protecting your capacity to think for yourself, and respecting and protecting the right of others to do the same. And how can universities best serve society? By prizing and protecting our autonomy and independence so that we can continue to give people like you the space and support you need to think independently without fear of external control or reprisal. To do otherwise would put a constraint on the imagination that would slow the speed of change and innovation, if not suppress it altogether. You, our students and graduates, would learn that conformity, rather than creativity and innovation, is the goal of learning and education. Instead, we need you to be independent thinkers. We need you to question conventional wisdom, challenge the status quo, and propose alternative futures. Why? Because major technological, economic, environmental, social, and cultural shifts lie ahead. Alberta, Canada, and the world need your leadership. We need your generation to shake us out of our complacency and sense of what's right. We need a new objectivity to move us forward. So be brave, be courageous, and take risks. Continually devote yourself to seeking and learning. Strive to create new ideas, and don't fear testing them and debating them with your communities. We have confidence in you. We look back on what past generations of U of A alumni have accomplished, and we know that you, like them, will take on the challenge. You too will become the future thinkers, creators, and builders of vibrant, diverse, and prosperous communities. So thank you for all that you will do. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and we look forward with great anticipation to all of your future accomplishments. Thank you and congratulations.
And now, graduates, it is your turn. As the name of each graduate is called across the stage, I will formally admit you to your degrees, and we will have an opportunity to congratulate you. On your journey across the stage, you will also walk past the University of Alberta ceremonial mace. Centuries ago, the mace was a symbol of authority over life and death. Today, this mace represents the life-changing power of knowledge and the importance of our university and our graduates in the community. I look forward to meeting you here on stage.
The candidates for degrees will please rise and follow on page 5 of the Convocation program. You have a spoken response, so please follow along. Please rise. Eminent Chancellor and President, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you these scholars and ask that they be pledged and admitted to the degrees to which they are entitled.
Do you promise faithfully to observe and loyally to maintain the statutes, customs, privileges, and liberties of this your university? Do you solemnly promise to conduct yourself in all things loyally and faithfully to the honor of your university, the encouragement of learning, and the good of your country?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province and with the consent of this university, I admit you to the degrees to which you are entitled and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining to such degrees. I charge you to use them for the uplifting of the whole people, to inspire the human spirit, to serve your community for the public good, and to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Jonathan Schaefer, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Science. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Hanan Issam Abu Alwan with distinction. Rebecca Marie Edith Adams. Tasmin Hayat Adel with distinction. Adedoyan Faith Ademo Kunwa. Simran Alawalia. Miriam Ahmad. Omar Abdullah Ahmad. Azka Ahmed with distinction. Chibam An. Si Hyung An. Amira Kenza Aisiu with distinction. Shoaib Akhtar with distinction. Sitsa Ackerman with distinction. Tasnim Ali. Luis Anton Sarmiento Alido. Mark Aloisio. Katrian Kendall Anderson. Kelly Marie Anderson with distinction. Russell Andrade. Sarah Marie Andrews with distinction. Antonia Chidima Anoa'i with distinction. Patricia Solange Antefeoff with distinction. Raquel Katerina Arnold with distinction. Tirane Ashrafi with distinction. Manal Mashur Asaf. Ivy Bang with distinction. Nicholas Balasuria. Megan Berra with distinction. Sheridan Ashley Adeline Barboza. Rishi Banwal. Tyler Kenneth Berry with distinction. Martina Bedala. Michael Bell with distinction. Joseph Rasco Calabia Belloso with distinction. Khalil Chanel Young Benedicto. Rebecca Marie Ben with distinction. Ruby Butani with distinction. Alison Bahari with distinction. Carolyn Binns. Paige Jennifer Blaney. Inderpal Corbolina with distinction. Rian Bauma. Receiving today both a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Translation Studies, Renee Aline Boutin. George Mackenzie Brunin. Majd Bouderi with distinction. Cassidy Alexis Bullock. Christopher Benjamin Ryan Burton. Carly Helen Campbell with distinction. Shannon Lee Carew. Paula Milena Cepeda Gallo. Michelle Chan. May Corina Shahedi. Christina Chen. Mingli Chen. Wan Hao Chen. Ichi Chen. Zeki Chen. Zhihao Chen. Fongbo Cheng. Valerie Chung, Stephanie Colleen Nariko Cheney, Colin William Churchill with distinction, Nicholas Dames Tudor, Julia Jane Arden Clark with distinction, Molly McMillan Clark with distinction, Zoe Elizabeth Crandall with distinction, Melissa Laura Sirenowski, Michelle Dang with distinction, Idana Barbara Dicheko, Radiat Kifle Digefu, Betul Sabahat Demirkol, Anaga Devkota, Desneil Singh Dhaliwal, Prabal Singh Dami with distinction, Alison Louise Dome, Danielle Dojak, Zutron Dong, Tenzin Dorji with distinction, Sulema Abdallah Mustafa Mohammed, Amy Du with distinction, Emerson Redmond Edie with distinction, Grace Elizabeth Doreen Ang with distinction, Amber Soleil Edwards, Priscilla Egbosimba, Vanry Colleen Eamon, Oriana Callista Engler with distinction, Dylan Tyler Estician, Zina Emmanuel Evangelista with distinction, Ashley Ifunanya Ezekpo, Shuenan Fang, Olayinka Oluchi Richard Fayemi, Kleinberg Chantrell Fernandez, Daniel Glenn Finlayson with distinction, Jenna Laurel Fleet with distinction, Sky Francis with distinction, Geraldine Joyce Friesen, Maria Pamela Freulen, receiving both his Bachelor of Science and Certificate in Interdisciplinary Leadership Studies, Ryan Polam Fung with distinction, Jackie Ferminger, Ethan William Loveberg Gaines, Kithmini Gamanja with distinction, Karima Alnur Ganji, Rishab Gangwani with distinction, Sydney G. with distinction. Alexandra Valerie Geisler. Laura Leslie Geisler. Jelena Elise Genablazo. Samantha Erin Gibbon. Dalvir Singh Gill. Ravleen Gill. Shireen Gill. Marina Alessa Giovannoni with distinction. Receiving her Bachelor of Science and Certificate in Translation Studies, Brogan Lee Gordon with distinction. Henry Lawrence Gore. Matthew William Darrell Goddas with distinction. Amanda Ashley Greenwell with distinction. Brenna Alexandria Kaur Greywall. Lauren Sarah Grumbacher. Shipin Guan. Vishrit Gulhati with distinction. Xingqi Guo. Taylor May Hainstock. Adam Abdullah Hamdan. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Computer Game Development, Darcy Morgan Hamilton. Megan Ashley Hansen with distinction. How. Arsh Singh Hazra. Yulin He. Michael Hitu. Aldrin Yemeland. Michaela Alyssa Ho with distinction. Yvonne Huang. Brendan Paul Hoffer. Devon Matea Holler. Jesse Brandon Halsworth. Shanshan Hong. Alessandra Jessica Hood. Ivan Hutsuliak with distinction. Trong T. Cat Huynh. Brittany June Easton. Ayla Jamali. Joshua Janes. Junwoo Jang. Neha Jaswal with distinction. Alandra Joyce Jessup with distinction. Wichi Jiang. Rachel Pearl Joffe with distinction. Garrett Johnston. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Science, Diana Ray Johnstone. Haley Mackenzie Jones with distinction. Victoria Amira Kabani. Siramjat Kalon. Manal Mohammed Kamal. Vivek Kanwar with distinction. Sana Kausar. Garrett Morgan Key. Ajay Singh Kabra with distinction. Tareem Khalid with distinction. Daud Khan. Sarang Kim. Sung Young Kim. Taek Kim with distinction. Chad Michael Kimmett with distinction. Amarup Kaur Claire with distinction. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a certificate in Research Certificate in Science, Natasha Jean Klapstein with distinction. Borlang Komtaye. Keisha Lynn Consorata. Andrew Kong. Caitlin Diana Kukta with distinction. Vinayan Kurup. Michaela Kwan. Kiana Ashley Rose Labine. Ayushi Lakanpal. Ryan Jeffrey Lamb. Roberta Lee. Austin Johan Lee with distinction. Jennifer Lee with distinction. Livia Lee. Michelle Lee with distinction. Malcolm Ray Leopard. Sydney Jolene Lewis. Peshwan Lee. Wan Ting Lee. Yichi Lee. Yiru Lee. Pamela Ann Librea. Felix Ling with distinction. Richong Liu. Shanse Liu. Pardeep Kaur Loti. Di Lu. Yikang Lu. Je Tie Lu. Rowan Lum with distinction. Caitlin Megan Grace Lummerding. Robert Luo. Heather Alexandra Lucier. Shangyu Ma. Xinyao Ma. A busy day for this candidate receiving her Bachelor of Science, Research Certificate in Science, Certificate in Sustainability, and Certificate in Interdisciplinary Leadership Studies, Xaviera Jane McLennan with distinction. Maginda Bagendra Thajan. Amanda Naomi Ma. Receiving her Bachelor of Science and Research Certificate in Science, Haba Faiz Mahal with distinction. Santo Luca Majorana. Meenakshi Veera Malik. Marissa Sonia Mand. Cassidy Margolis. William Kabalusan Markin. Elizabeth Martins. Nitu Masi. Kaya Magdalena Matovanovic. Shirley May. Nicholas Alexander Diedrich Main. Courtney Carol McDonald. Alicia Ann McDonald. Cameron Michael McKay. Receiving both a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Interdisciplinary Leadership Studies, Alanis Rose McKee with distinction. Siobhan Elise Marguerite McKenna. Derek Cole McLean. June Marie McMaster. Philip Roger McVeigh. Raquel Florencia Melendez. Justina Anna Melnick. Chi Miao. Nathan Millivong with distinction. Lap Sun Mu Young. Susan Muntzner with distinction. Andrea Victoria Murray. Priyana Nair. Gamintha Lasath Nanayakara. Jacqueline Jotina Ryan. Pauline Grace Alvarez Nepomuceno with distinction. Elliot Gray Neumeister with distinction. Leanne No. Thomas Nguyen. Receiving a Bachelor of Science, a Certificate in International Learning, and a Certificate in Community Engagement and Service Learning, Nicole Sandra Nieberding, with distinction. Stephen Cameron Noel. Chantel Victoria Nordquist. Sarah Angelica Obach with distinction. Stacy Emma Oberg. Damilola Oladosu. Martin Andrus with distinction. Receiving both Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Science today, Megan Caitlin Onushko with distinction. Olamide Oladipupo Opadokun. Sydney Daleen Ouderkirk. Manishi Utarangi Palalawa. Kita Pan with distinction. Harshvardhan Prashant Pardeshi. Ethan Alistair Park. Jahyun Park with distinction. June Park. Ajay Pasi. Priyal Kaushik Patel. Smit Kanayalal Patel with distinction. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Computer Game Development, Chance Adam Tate Pearson. Caitlin Peebles. Yuki Peng. Derek Joseph Perpaletza. Presti Polos. Haley Mariah Paul with distinction. Damien Jason Wong Pong. Saisha Prasad. Andrian Danilo Prishlak Liak. Carly Blair Puttycombe with distinction. Yufan Chia. Hong Yi Kyu. Laura Quintero. Jasmine Rai. Navinder Kaur Rai. Urvi Rai. Sienna Christina Rosa Reo. Abigail Louise Rasmussen. Louis Bert Recto with distinction. Alexandra Madison Reiki with distinction. Kristen Lynn Reinbold. Michelle Flores Remigio. Amber Rose Richardson. Brandon Scott Roberts. Caitlin Mackenzie Roberts. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Translation Studies, Julie Marie Roberts. Melissa Beatriz Robles. Clinton Lloyd Thomas Rodney. Nicole Anne Marie Guardamano Rodriguez. Andy Nicole Roms with distinction. Allison Courtney Roth. Stuart Richard Rowe with distinction. Alex Sarah Rumbles. Nazdeep Sandhu. Debiani Soccer with distinction. Cole Bradley Sauder. Jefferson Allen Sawyer. Hannah Kathleen Schulte with distinction. Christian James Schumacher with distinction. Alexandra Quinn Chivoletto. Laura Jane Sr. with distinction. Rushi Shah. Hongyu Shen. Yangpeng Shen. Niranjana Shenoy with distinction. Sam Shin. Camilo Sierra Herrera. Stephen Gary Siffeldine. Caroline Rebecca Sinclair. Gurleen Singh. Arman Singh Sohi. Teresa Marie Sokolowski with distinction. Weldon Soribio. Receiving a Bachelor of Science, a Research Certificate in Science, and a Certificate in Sustainability, Benjamin Mark Sperling with distinction. Ian Danielle Saint-Arnaud. Trevor Dylan Stewart. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Science, Courtney Laurie Stoltz. Daniel Gordon Strobridge. Jinyi Sui. Shujang Sun. Nathan Sunwoo. Angela Christine Swab. Cassandra Jade Switzer. Adam Shovlotsky. Daniel Ta with distinction. Nilofar Tahir with distinction. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Research Certificate in Science, Sharon Tahir with distinction. Muzi Tan. Yin-Hing Tang. Stephen Merrick Cheer. Michaela Takerobe with distinction. Esther Grace Tieba. Dina Nicole Tom. Kathleen Emily Thomas with distinction. Rachel Thomas. Eugenie Ann Wamil Tolentino with distinction. Tan Tan Tran. Jenny Tran. Elizabeth Tran. Yanni Gui Tran. Sierra Nicole Travis. Amanda Kim Truong. Christine Tsang. Rebecca Wing Yi Tzi. James Tuyashime. Dorlena Lynn Alcar with distinction. Nikolai Vada. Catherine Victoria Van Ryswick. Ria Sanchez Vardeleon. Vioma Vashi. Colleen Joy Van Hus. Erin Grace Villas with distinction. Rachel Emily Voss. Mercy Wangari Wainaina. Benjamin George Vida with distinction. Zora Wally. Howard Wong. Jia Wang. Jingwen Wang. Ruisi Wang. Yikang Wang. Che Wang. Jihao Wang. Ayub Warsami. Austin Taylor Wassilishan. Dylan Adam Waters. Alicia Watkins with distinction. Adrienne Eve Scoville Watson with distinction. Cherith Danushka Wedesing with distinction. Andrea Michelle Whitaker with distinction. Tara Claire Wickens. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in Computer Game Development, Brandon Wilichko. Piumi Withanachchi. Nicole Angelina Wolinerski with distinction. Bolenish Milnamo Wanda Magenyo. Natalie Wong. Rebecca Wu. Jialu Si. Cheng Xia. Mengyuan Xia. Jiaxu Xu. Pengda Xu. Tianyi Xu. Yingyuo Xu. Dinusha Magdarangi Yagama de Silva. Zihui Yang. Farah Bilal Yassin. Joyu Yi. Jason Ko Long Ye. Carol Ann Yerksa. Mohammed Tasir Yunus. Zachary Alexander Young. Danielle Yu with distinction. Jennifer Yu. Chi Feng Yu. Willie Yuan. Receiving a Bachelor of Science and a Certificate in International Learning, Erin Kelly Nicolieu with distinction. Rendong Za. Ren Zheng. Tariaba Zara with distinction. Chengzu Zhang. Qiyu Zhao. Bixi Zhang. Zhengchang Zhao. Baowen Zhu. And Si Jia Zhao.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you the remaining scholars whose names appear in the Convocation program, but who are not in attendance today.
Knowledge shall not be the concern of scholars alone. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal.
They inspire us all with their brilliance, creative force, and fervent desire to make the world a better place.
I accept in the name of our poor people.
Dream your dreams. It is possible to have a new kind of world.
Those who receive an honorary degree from the University of Alberta set the highest standards of dedication and excellence for students and for society at large.
It is a good day to be you.
Remember who you are. Remember where you come from.
And while their backgrounds and fields of endeavor vary widely, all are exceptional.
Maybe it's best if I just speak from the heart.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
We face today a clash of ignorances.
You are who make the history. You are who create the future.
U of A honorary degree recipients embody the university's vision to inspire the human spirit through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship in a creative community.
Your generation will be called upon to balance what is now moving quickly to a tipping point.
I think we are now in the threshold of a new beginning.
It is a spirit that is building one of the world's great universities for the public good.
It is your attitude that will sustain you. It is not what happens to you, it is what you do with it.
Go out and not simply change the world, go out and save the world. That is what I would seek you to do.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Alberta, it is my privilege to introduce David Takayoshi Suzuki. For the honorary degree of Doctor of Science, our learning community's highest recognition. The son of a Japanese immigrant couple, Dr. Suzuki was interned with his family near Slocum, British Columbia during World War II. His family's dry cleaning business was sold, and they were forced to move to Ontario after the war. But his love for nature was not deterred. Sparked by a shopping trip with his father to purchase a tent, he found he was most at home hiking, fishing, and camping. When it came time to choose his educational path, science just made sense. He earned a PhD in genetics at the University of Chicago in 1961. His journey led him back to Canada and here to the University of Alberta, where he was an assistant professor, before accepting a position at UBC, where he remained for the rest of his academic career. He received the very prestigious EWR Stacy Memorial Fellowship for Outstanding Research Scientist in Canada under the age of 35. His 1976 textbook, titled An Introduction to Genetic Analysis, co-authored with A.J.F. Griffiths, is still the most widely used genetics text in the United States and has been translated into numerous languages. All of this is impressive, but I would venture he is best known to all of you for his passion for science, education, and communication. He founded the CBC's science show Quirks and Quarks, which he hosted for 4 years, a show that continues to this day. And then came the television show, The Nature of Things. From the effects of artificial light on humans, to the secret lives of pigeons, to surviving the teenage brain, The Nature of Things is one of the most successful series in the history of Canadian television. And to many people, certainly in my generation, Quirks and Quarks and the Nature of Things are why we are scientists today. Dr. Suzuki has challenged us to reflect on the impact of our behavior on the natural world that sustains us. In 1990, he established the David Suzuki Foundation to promote resource conservation and environmental protection. He is a companion of the Order of Canada, Canada's highest honor. He is also a recipient of UNESCO's Kalinga Prize for Science, the United Nations Environment Program Medal, and the Right Livelihood Award that is considered the alternative Nobel Prize. This morning, we celebrate his inspiring leadership to future generations of scientists and scholars. And we celebrate his commitment to advancing public education and understanding of science. Eminent Chancellor, with the deepest respect, I present to you David Takayoshi Suzuki.
David Takayoshi Suzuki, in recognition of enduring contributions to public understanding of science and the environment, I desire to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Science, and to express that we shall continue to be enriched by your wise counsel for many years to come. Congratulations.
Eminent Chancellor, President, representative of the Board of Governors, graduates, friends, and family. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territory on which we are gathered today. This land on which we congregate is Treaty 6 territory and the traditional homeland of many Indigenous peoples and Métis, whose histories, languages, and cultures are still present today, and who continue to influence communities here and throughout North America. Wow, I am so delighted to be back in Edmonton to join your incredible list of recipients of and recognition of their work. To receive this honor from the university where I got my first grown-up job in the genetics department in 1962. Thank you, Alberta and the university, for starting me on my career in science. I only stayed here for a year, but two important things, very important things, happened to me while I was here. In 1962, the year I arrived here, Rachel Carson published Silent Spring, warning of the unintended consequences of pesticides, and that shaped the way I viewed science, the world around us, and my responsibilities. And the university, 1962, had a television program. I don't know what channel, it couldn't have been more than 2 channels in Edmonton at that time. Maybe it was CBC, it was on a Sunday morning, and it was called Your University Speaks. And I was asked to do a show on genetics. I did one, and was asked to do another one, and then another one, and I finally did 8 programs, my first television series. And the producer, Guy Vaughan, said to me, "You have an ability to make science understandable and exciting." And that was a very important insight that I gained. So in my year at the University of Alberta was a very significant one for me. It was here that I began my scientific career in genetics, began my concern about environmental consequences of the way we live, began my realization that television is a very powerful means of communication. Now, if you were to examine a newspaper or a television news program and judge the importance of what we're presented with by how much time is dedicated to each subject, you would quickly conclude that we are preoccupied by politics, by economics, by sports, and by celebrity. Yet the most powerful force shaping our lives and society today is none of these things. It is science. Science when applied by industry, medicine, and the military. As science graduates, some of you will become scientists, doctors, researchers, and professors, but all of you are scientifically literate, which is all of society today should be, to deal with the major issues that will confront you in the coming years. A university is a community of scholars, artists, scientists, and dreamers exploring the cutting edge of human thought and creativity. To society, these ideas are often perceived as a threat to the status quo. Indeed, it's not an accident that revolutionary change often starts in universities. But to enable people to freely explore these edges, our society, in its wisdom, granted tenure. I hope, as students here at this great university, you have taken advantage to explore the avenues of human inventiveness and opened your mind to possibilities and new ways of seeing the world. This is urgent because scientists now recognize that human beings have suddenly become a tectonic force on the planet. Our numbers, our technology, our consumption, and our global economy have exploded to such an extent that we are now the main factor shaping and altering the physical, chemical, and biological properties of the planet on a geological scale. That's why scientists now call this the Anthropocene epoch, the age of human beings. There has never been a species with such power before. And we have no experience then to guide us. So we have to find ways of living that do not undermine the very things that keep us alive. 4 years ago, I received a call from the CEO of one of the largest companies in the oil sands of Alberta. "Can I come and talk to you?" he asked. To which I answered, "Of course. I don't believe in fighting because we all have to be winners." The next day, he showed up at my door, and I thanked him profusely and asked him to do me one favor, to leave his identity as the CEO of a corporation outside so I could meet him as one human being with another. His body language told me he wasn't very comfortable with this, but to his credit, he came in because he was a decent man. I thanked him and told him I knew this wasn't what he was expecting, so I explained that I couldn't see the point of debating or negotiating about energy or pollution before we both agreed on our common needs that had to be the platform of discussion of further issues. I knew he was uncomfortable because he had come to meet me as the executive of an oil company. "Mr. CEO," I began, "we live in a world that is shaped and constrained by laws of nature. They're fixed. We can't change them, so we have to live within them. Physics informs us that we cannot build a rocket that will travel faster than the speed of light. The law of gravity tells us if I trip on these stairs, I'm going to hit my head on the floor. And the first and second laws of thermodynamics tell us that we cannot build a perpetual motion machine. Those are laws of physics, and we live within them. In chemistry, it's the same. The atomic properties of the elements dictate their freezing points, their melting points, their boiling points, their reaction rates and diffusion constants that determine what we can and cannot make in a test tube. That's chemistry. And biology informs us that every species of animal and plant has a maximum number that can be maintained sustainably, and that is determined by the carrying capacity of an ecosystem or a habitat. The biosphere is our habitat, and based on our numbers and consumptive demands, we are already beyond its carrying capacity. by using up our basic biological capital that should be there for future generations, we are maintaining the sense that everything's okay. And then I told him, we are animals. And as animals, our greatest need is a breath of air. 3 minutes of air, 3 minutes without air, we die. Forced to breathe polluted air, we sicken. So I ask you, surely clean air should be our greatest need and responsibility to protect, a sacred responsibility. And I went on then and described how each of us is made of water. 60 to 70% of our bodies by weight is water. If we don't have water for 4 to 6 days, we die. Forced to drink contaminated water, we sicken. So clean water, like clean air, is a sacred responsibility to protect. Without food, after 4 to 6 weeks, we will die. And most of our food comes from the soil, so clean soil and food should be a sacred responsibility. And every bit of the energy in our bodies that we need to move and work and grow and reproduce, and every bit of the energy that we release by burning in our fuels, comes from photosynthesis. So that should also, in the oceans and on land, should be protected. These are the fundamental needs of all human beings and should be the foundation of the way that we live and base our lives. Other things, borders we draw around our property, our cities, our provinces, our countries, are human constructs. So are capitalism, the economy, politics, corporations, the market. These are not forces of nature. We invented them, and they are the only things that we can change. We can't change nature. So I concluded, Mr. CEO, if you will shake hands with me in agreement with what I have just said, I promise I will do everything I can to help you and your company. Of course, he couldn't or wouldn't shake hands because he came as the CEO of a corporation. And if he were to go back to his shareholders and report, I had a discussion with Suzuki, he's right. Whatever we do, we cannot harm the air, the water, or the soil. He would be fired in a flash because that is not his job. So here is the dilemma. We have created concepts and structures of government and business that we then try to force nature to conform to, rather than shaping our creations to fit the needs of nature on which we are utterly dependent. And that's why we have disputes over many things, because we haven't started from a position of agreement on what we need and must protect. In the Anthropocene epoch, we have become the dominant animal on the planet, and we have to find a way of living in balance with the elements that keep us alive and healthy. Your university education is part of your preparation to prepare for the challenges ahead. It's a daunting task, but I believe humanity's success has been in large measure the ability to look ahead, to see the dangers and the opportunities, and then act now to avoid those dangers and exploit those opportunities in the future. Foresight is our great gift, and you are a part of society's foresight today. You're trained in science to assess the best information we have available about what the state of the planet is, and to look ahead with your supercomputers and see where we are going, so that now you are equipped to help shape our way into the future. Congratulations on reaching this stage in your lives, and I wish you all the best, and gazing out at you, watching you as you cross this stage, I am filled with hope and optimism that you are prepared to lead us, to help us as we embark on the next most important stage of your lives. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Suzuki, for sharing your thoughts and your life's experiences with our students. We'd now ask that you join us to sign the University Honor Roll. And that makes it official. You are now a member of the University of Alberta class of 2018. Welcome to the family.
Well, graduates, you made it. You are now officially on the other side. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the class of 2018. And now, graduates, it's your turn. I'm going to ask you to stand up and turn around and get everyone's attention. Let's give the people who have supported you through all of this, your parents and siblings, your grandparents, your spouses and children, stand up and give them a huge round of applause. Today is a truly proud moment for them and for the University of Alberta. In total, we will graduate 6,713 students at the Convocation ceremonies over the next several weeks. Now that I've got you back with us, it's time to turn our attention to the final part of today's ceremony. Before you are formally welcomed into the University of Alberta Alumni Association, I invite you to watch the screens for the presentation of a special video montage. The song that accompanies Je te retrouve, or I Remember You, was commissioned by Campus Saint-Jean in 2008 to honor the U of A centenary. It captures the hopefulness and potential of days spent at the university and hopefully sparks your own memories of your years here. The song is also a display of many U of A talents. It was composed by Professor Emeritus Dr. Franz Lavoisier-Ouimet and an honorary degree recipient yesterday. And it's been arranged by U of A alumnus Dr. Alan Bevan. The recording is performed by Chorale Saint-Jean under the direction of Laurier Fagnan. Please enjoy.
Eminent Chancellor, thank you, merci. To the 2018 graduating class, congratulations and welcome. My name is Philip Wong, and I graduated from the University of Alberta in 1985. It is my honor to congratulate you on becoming a University of Alberta alumnus and to officially welcome you into our alumni family. You are joining a proud and inspired group of graduates committed to each other's success and committed to building the University of Alberta into one of the greatest universities for the public good. I call upon you to stay connected with each other, with other alumni, and with your university throughout your lifetime. I also call upon you to go out from this place and be inspired by the promise and challenge of our alumni to do great things. Félicitations et bonne chance. Congratulations and best wishes in all your future endeavors. And now please turn your attention to the screen.
No matter what your story, where you came from, what it took to get here, at this place, you were welcomed. You became part of our family. At this place, you inherited a spirit of innovation, of action, of coming together to uplift the whole people. Our school and our spirit have grown, but we still learn, innovate, lead, solve problems, take action. We raise up our communities, and we help others succeed. We are University of Alberta alumni, and for more than a century, we have come together and carved a new trail for those who follow. Together, we are stronger. Together, we shine brighter. Together, from this place into the world. Together, we have and we will do great things.
In closing, I would like to offer a few words of thanks. To Dr. David Suzuki, thank you once again for sharing your story and your wisdom with our university family. I'd also like to thank our talented vocalist, Ms. Kaylee Henbest, and our outstanding Convocation band under the direction of Dr. Thomas Dust. And I wish to acknowledge the hard work of the staff of the Office of the Registrar for their organization of today's convocation. I'm pleased to invite everyone to join us in the main floor and first balcony lobbies for refreshments and conversation. Finally, to our graduates, congratulations for all that you have accomplished leading up to the conferral of your degree. Today is an important milestone in a journey of lifelong learning. Your education here will open new horizons for you and for our entire community. Wherever your dreams may take you, I invite you to remain close to your alma mater, the University of Alberta. One final thought. As you contemplate your future, I encourage you to remember that of all the things you may do, of all the successes you may achieve, nothing is more important than the kindness you show to others. Congratulations.
honor.